have a business that's working. I guess they're not that smart. They haven't figured
it out yet. They still can't figure it out that it's not affecting anything. Some people are real slow on the uptake. Like, maybe in 4 years they'll figure it out, you know? Just like, I know for a fact there's some trolls who still try to leave, like, awful comments on my videos, and YouTube auto-filters it all. I don't even see it. It's just gone. There's no way to get rid of the gifted sub notification. When people gift subs, it just happens. Like, you're seeing that right now? I can't stop that. Yeah. There's nothing I can do about that at all. That's, again, one of the major shortcomings of YouTube, is that you don't have a lot of control over anything. They have very limited chat, limited everything, and so I can't stop those messages from appearing in the chat. I wish I could. I can't. So you just gotta ignore it. You just blocked the person. Girl wearing purple, that person was blocked the instant they gifted those. They've been blocked. The messages continue. I'm telling you, I know what I'm talking about. There's no way to stop it. Again, YouTube promised, no exaggeration, 3 years ago, they promised they were going to add all of these features.
It's actually crazy that ever since I've been making videos on our good buddy Phil, he's been doing a great job of raising up new detractors from Broadside Phil. You also got Nerd Brew, but then there's another group of detractors that have been up, you know, doing their thing against Phil, my Argentinian brothers. And what I mean by that is, it seems like Phil, once again, decided to bring them up. And you probably say, okay, Vanguard, what you talking about? Well, instead of me flapping my gums, why don't we just go right into the video, shall we?
Okay. So, let's see here.
Okay, Phil, get right to it, buddy. What's taking you so long?
From D-Man, he says, Phil, I've been a viewer of your content a while now. I've been watching you since October. I haven't really watched you since October because of my schedule. I'm shocked to learn your channel has been bombarded by memberships that pay pennies on the dollar. I'm reaching out. I think I have a solution. I don't know if you heard of a YouTuber called Totally Not Mark. He was getting copyrighted by Toho Animation for videos on how to draw Toho characters, like from the Dragon Ball series, which is ridiculous.
That's because that's Toho's production. That's their property. So yes, they can strike it. And that's why you gotta be careful using any product of Toho. What I mean by that is, for me, one of my videos unfortunately did get copyrighted because of the music. Even though I used somebody else remaking to that music, they don't play around when it comes to that.
And copyright is different. It seems like YouTube was letting them get away with it. The solution Mark found, he reached out to YouTube and he got them to block his channel in Japan entirely, so no one in Japan can view his channel at all.
I'm not sure how true or accurate that is. I mean, Japan is a different country altogether and different laws, regulations, so it might be possible. If you guys know what this guy's talking about, please tell me down below in the comments.
I did this myself with a VPN. I pretended like I was in Japan. I clicked on Mark's profile. All I can do is read what he wrote. All of his videos are blocked to Japanese viewers. So maybe you could do that with what's going on with the VPNs to buy memberships for your channel.
I also have VPN as well, but the problem with that is sometimes when you do use a VPN with YouTube, it might give you problems. What I mean by that is, let's say you want to leave a comment, it might temporarily block it because your VPN is not allowed to, you know, comment because YouTube's thinking you're from a different country or whatever. So you gotta be careful when it comes to VPNs.
Well, I have a few things to say about this. The guy who just doesn't get reality, all right? I was aware that this was going on, that this guy, Totally Not Mark, was actually, he was a long time person covering anime and manga, and his channel was being destroyed by Toho Animation. Apparently he had even spoken with like the head of Toho.
Now, I don't know anything about this Mark guy. Again, if anybody does know this whole situation, please comment below so I can get a better understanding of this whole situation with him.
He had reached out and had conversations to them and everything, and basically they didn't care. After a while, they just like, we don't care. It's our right to enforce whatever we want. So too bad. And
Again, Phil, it's a company. It's their product. They're going to do whatever they can to protect their product. Matter of fact, that's how Japan is altogether. Any of their products, IPs, music, or whatever, yeah, they're going to protect it at all costs.
He was getting nowhere. Now, I didn't hear about this whole, he talked to YouTube and YouTube blocked his channel in a region. I don't even know how you would do that. I don't even like having to waste time talking about this today. YouTube, there's no one to talk to but a partner chat.
Phil, if you actually take the time, you know, get in contact with YouTube and go beyond that, you can actually talk to some people that's in the head department. Matter of fact, King does that, okay? If there's a problem, let's say with another channel that's getting bombarded with copyrights, he can talk to the head of YouTube and get that whole situation sorted out. It's not that difficult.
Partner chat is just a bunch of people in a you know, what do you call it, call center? Because it's not really a call center, it's a chat center. And all they do is they read form letter responses off of facts. That's it. They don't have any information for you to help you whatsoever in anything.
If you're talking about the whole situation when you had the second detractor purge that went on, the only reason I didn't help you, Phil, is you was talking to a damn bot. You didn't go further than that. Thanks to Snort for proving that part.
Like I said, to give you some example, 2 years ago. What was it, 2 years ago? Now it might have actually been 3 years ago.
No, if you're talking about like again a second detractor purge, that was last year.
A huge bug on YouTube, all right? A loophole that if exploited could actually destroy YouTube.
So he's an idiot. Yeah.
Phil, I'd be extremely careful giving out that information because if it's something that can hurt YouTube and you're giving it out, you're going to be in a world amount of trouble.
That's how bad it was, okay? I talked to YouTube in the chat and I explained step by step what it was. I showed them screenshots. I explained the whole process of how this was broken and it could ruin their entire site. They argued with me about it, saying that I'm wrong. I was like, but here's the...
Really, Phil? Would you mind sharing us when did you actually do this? Since you said this was about 2 or 3 years ago, because I don't remember you ever doing that other than bitching about the detractors.
I don't know what you're talking about. Here is all the evidence presented to you of what I'm saying. You can't say it's wrong when I'm showing it to you step by step in these screenshots, okay? So finally, it just reached, they said, well, there's nothing we can do about it, you know, because, you know, whatever.
Because more than likely, either A, they been knew about this exploit and they are fixing it behind the scenes, or B, it's not as big as you're trying to make it. More than likely, I think it's A, they been knew about it and was taking care of behind the scenes.
Just let it go, whatever. If the site breaks, I guess it breaks. I guess we got to move on and find livelihood elsewhere. Well, 2 months later, on a whim, I go to check. Oh, they fixed it.
Thanks for proving my point, Phil.
Now, did they actually talk to me about that? No. Did they let me know that maybe what I had said and shown as evidence, and you know, maybe someone escalated it and it went up the ladder and finally someone with a brain looked at it and said, oh shit, oh wow, we got to fix it, and then they fixed it?
Oh goodness, Mr. Big Brain. Phil, let me help you out here. More than likely, they found it some time ago and were working behind the scenes to take care of this problem. At the same time, they're not going to tell people that it's an exploit because they don't want people going through that.
I don't know. Did it have anything to do with me? I have no clue. You know, I'm nobody. I keep telling people this.
No, you are somebody. I don't know how many times I keep saying this, but I'll say it again. You're a locale. You're also an asshole.
I'm a tiny guy on YouTube. I don't bring in views. I don't bring in money for this site. I don't. Okay? I'm just Joe Nobody. It's remarkable that I get to make a living doing what I do with how small I am.
It's shrinking deep.
That's actually something you and I can agree on. I don't know how you can still make a living besides begging all the doggone time.
So, when I speak, no one listens anymore. There was a time when I spoke, everyone listened, everyone cared, they took me seriously.
Here's the thing, buddy. The problem is, back then, before the whole bank leaks, people were giving you an opportunity, give you a chance. But once you kept bringing your financial woes online, telling stuff, causing a war online on stuff, yeah, we stopped believing you because you're full of shit. Because you are a complete asshole. I mean, how many times I gotta even say that?
Shit about me anymore, right? So, I don't really get help with this kind of stuff. No, I don't believe that if I went to YouTube and I said, hey, so I have concrete evidence that someone's using a VPN to spoof and pretend like they're from another country, and they're using currency conversion issues to buy thousands of memberships for
I'm sorry, I'm allergic to bullshit.
a few pennies. And so my entire channel's inundated with memberships.
Before he continues, I'm gonna play along like this. Phil, do you actually think YouTube will go ahead and decide to go after a country? No, they won't. If that country is bringing the revenue, the money on stuff, they're gonna let them keep coming through. The problem with you is, Phil, is that more than likely, when you kept begging for gifted memberships, you weren't seeing the money that you was hoping for. Did you actually thought about having people do it naturally, that actually want to enjoy your content, actually want to see how you are? No, you're known for being a beggar. You kept begging until you finally got what you want, but then you discovered to yourself you're not getting the money that you was hoping for, so now you want to try to flip it.
Everyone has one for free, and I'm not getting paid for it, and it's ruining my business. Please block locations of these areas. Do you think YouTube gives two shits about me? I'm nowhere near. Even this guy you're bringing up, Totally Not Mark, he's like 5 times bigger than me.
I'm the little guy. You are a big guy, Keen. You're huge. You have a giant reach.
No exaggeration. You know, just talk about anime and shit. This guy's like, you know, tons of views, tons of subs.
Phil, again, you are a little something on YouTube. The problem is, like I said before, you are a pain in the ass. That's why a lot of times YouTube doesn't really want to deal with you, because you are a hard person to work with. There's been far too many times proven that.
You know, well-known, well-respected, not hated on by everyone. I hate to say it, like, I wish that I got a fair shake. I wish that I got treated equally like everyone else.
Fair shake. You've been given so many opportunities for a fair shake. Again, with the interview with Side Scrollers. Matter of fact, you had another fair shake. The documentary with Mike. Why didn't you let that go through, Phil? Why all of a sudden you decided you want to pull out of that? Had you let that come through, that would have been another fair shake.
I get treated like gum stuck on the bottom of your shoe. I get treated like a dog turd that someone sees on the side of the sidewalk.
Yeah, because the way you behave.
I feel today. I don't get treatment that's deserving of respect. I get treated like, you know, I'm scum.
With all disrespect, I give you all that.
YouTube for help, they don't give 2 fucks about me. They brush me off, you know? And there's nothing I can do about that. That's what happens when the internet makes me the butt of their joke.
You have done that yourself.
Hey Phil, you know how you can be a better person? Stop being a beggar. Stop being an asshole. Actually change your image up. Change your personality up. Be a much more humble person. Stop trying to attack every troll that comes into your chat. Stop trying to attack everybody. Improve on you, okay? If you start doing that, then people will actually start and slowly leave you alone. But the problem with you is, Phil, you keep saying you don't like this drama, yet you keep, better yet, you demand this drama. That is why I, myself, and many others will continue to make vids on you, because this is what you really want. This is the only time you actually get the views that you actually get so you can make money off this, Phil. It's actually a win-win either way.
It ruins my reputation for over 10 years. So now I can't get help with anything, you know? Right now, no, I have absolutely no confidence whatsoever that if I went to YouTube and I said, hey, so this is happening, can you block regions, that anyone would give 2 fucks. I don't think so.
They're not going to block regions, Phil. The only time they'll block something if it's a certain video that cannot be shown in that region or here, okay?
I think they would let, you know, no, we don't do that. What are you talking about, right? And even I said, well, what about Totally Not Mark? They're like, we don't know what you're talking about, right? That's how they are. Basically, it sounds to me like Totally Not Mark, probably lawyered up, right? Probably paid for a lawyer to contact YouTube about the issue.
And you don't think YouTube's got lawyers? Okay, better yet, here's something that maybe you're not aware of. A company called Bungie. A while ago, they had somebody else who were using their company to send copyright strikes, false copyright strikes to other people, claiming that they were from Bungie, but they were not. And what happened was when Bungie learned of that person that was doing this, they had to lawyer up, and it was very expensive. Even though they had a lot of money, it was still incredibly expensive for them. And even still, when they asked you to help, YouTube told them, no, you're on your own. So do you actually think that Mike lawyer up that YouTube will actually do something about that? No, more likely they worked some type of compromise out, and it worked, and it came to his favor.
YouTube worked with his lawyer to get this done. I don't have that kind of money,
What?
clout, or any kind of attention, control, nothing.
What?
They don't care about me. So
What? What does it look like I care?
I don't think that would ever happen, quite frankly. I just don't think that would be a solution for me.
Again, it's the way how you act, the way you behave. You've been doing this for 15 years, yet people such as Mr. Beast, PewDiePie, Keemstar, who've been doing the same amount of time, or maybe a little less, are far more respectable and done a lot more for YouTube. You, on the other hand, have done jack shit.
If YouTube actually had like a partner manager program, I just want you guys to understand that who you work with someone directly to help you, right? If this was back in the day and I was partnered with Machinima and Machinima had contact with actual humans at YouTube who weren't in the chat center.
I won't get into the whole history of Machinima.
Intelligent brains and control over things at YouTube, then yeah, then maybe that would be worth the shot. But I'm telling you right now, it's just not viable, you know, for me, for someone of my stature.
Yeah, I know why it's not viable for you. You dump all your money into Vince's pocket.
I'm old news to YouTube. They don't give a shit about me. So, yeah, it's sad. I wish I would. That sounds like oh wow, that sounds amazing. Yeah, listen to me. If YouTube doesn't care that people impersonate me on a daily basis and hit false copyright strikes against people and get their channel shut down, which is a huge legal ramification.
YouTube is focused on one thing: one, to protect themselves, and two, make money. You, on the other hand, don't make that much money for them, so guess what? They don't care about you. They sure as hell don't care about me, because I'm a tiny ass channel.
YouTube could be sued for misuse of DMCA law. But
really, who be willing to do that? Because again, YouTube, which is owned by Google, have a lot of money. Nobody's going to try to sue YouTube because they will lose.
Lawsuit, and they will lose it because they're not verifying anyone's identity when they take down content. Their system is so inferior. You have to verify identity. You cannot have a legal proceeding happen without verifying the person is who they say they are. You can't just have an online...
Okay, I'm also going to address this part here, ladies and gentlemen. In case of some that know, the reason why it's a lot more strict with YouTube these days is back in the day when Viacom was trying to... Well, Viacom did. They literally sued YouTube and Google because somebody had used one of their IPs or whatever. And Viacom's a very anal company that does not like to play around with people using their IPs. They would definitely go after people. So that's the main reason why YouTube is a lot more strict these days.
Forum take down someone's business, that's fucking illegal. Okay? And YouTube does it every day. If I've notified them that people are doing this mass in my name,
That's bullshit.
which could potentially create a ginormous lawsuit against them, and they ignored me, and they gave me a form letter response from their legal team, and their partner chat said, that's not your problem. Have other people contact us with their lawyers, and we'll deal it case-by-case basis. That's the response I got.
That's the response you get. Are you sure about that? Because the problem you feel is the last time you tried to speak to YouTube, again, you spoke to a damn bot.
For that situation, I have zero confidence that they're going to say, oh yeah, we're going to check for you. Oh, look at this. It looks like a bunch of people from this country just seem to be mass buying memberships for 0.0000 pennies. So let's just block the country from your viewership. That'll never happen.
That would never happen because, again, the people that send you those gifted memberships, YouTube still takes a cut. They're not going to cut off the hand that feeds them.
Totally not Mark. He probably went ahead and got a lawyer. And the lawyer contacted YouTube and said, listen, this is a big shortcoming of your system. You don't have proper law enforcement, so you're going to do this for him or he's going to sue you. And they probably said, we'll do it for you then. And they blocked his channel from Japan, so that way he could continue to do business. I'm
not going to let him continue because he's just repeating the same nonsense with no information to back that stuff up. Phil. With this dude, it amazes me how ridiculous, and I won't say that, but how much of a fucktard he's become. But then again, you'd be surprised nowadays that you'll have people that even defend him. And you're probably wondering, who you talking about, Vanguard? Well, there is a certain fanboy who decided to drink the Kool-Aid of Darkside Phil and defend him on Baldur's Gate 3. And instead of me continue to talk about it, let's get right into that video.
The hottest take I've ever had, most likely, but DSP is 100% right.
Excuse me, the fuck did you just say?
Wait, what? 100% right and what? Harmon, oh god, hold on, let me calm down. I don't want me ear raping people's ears. Harmon, Phil's right on what? I really want to hear this.
3. It's interesting seeing people like try and dispute this and kind of downplay this, but here we have Phil, a completely normal person.
Normal person? A normal? Wait, normal person? If he's normal, then what the fanboys do must also be very normal then, according to your logic.
Normal being a YouTube live streamer. You know,
3 fries short of a Happy Meal.
Someone who plays a ton of games, who has a lot of experience with them, who's generally pretty good at explaining whether a game is good or bad.
Sure about that, Chief? Because Phil's also known for rage quitting a lot of good games. Matter of fact, he also took a shit on Zelda too. Isn't that one of your favorite games? Huh? Harmon? Oh, so we just go cherry pick now? Okay, I see how it goes.
This guy, right? Someone who has a lot of experience, knows what he's talking about, and
X to doubt
you, right? If a game has any real serious problem, or if a game is great, right? Phil is not a reliable source of information.
Wait. What? What did you say? Hold on, what did you say, good sir?
Phil is not a reliable source of information.
Phil is not a reliable source of information. If that's the case, Harmon, why are you using him as a source for Baldur's Gate 3?
Really, really interesting how, in spite of it being the only reason he's making any money at all right now, Darkside Phil is perfectly willing to come out over and over again and tell people that he's not enjoying Baldur's Gate 3, that it's too...
Here's the thing, Harmon. There's not a single game that Phil enjoys unless he's making money. The only game that he loves playing is WWE Champions and them other mobile games.
Oh, that there's not all that much going on, that it's not that great of a game, right? And it's interesting to me because everybody in the community wants to blame Phil for this because it's Phil, but to me, this is like the same kind of energy I felt when he was going after Street Fighter V, where he was openly telling people that, like, yeah, this game isn't as good as 4.
He's done that with Street Fighter 4, 3, 2, and 1. And the reason why he did that is because when he was getting his ass kicked, that's when he was bitching.
Classic games is a huge disappointment, yada, yada, yada. And, like, initially, there was a lot of pushback from the community, right? Like, oh, DSP doesn't know what he's talking about. It's DSP, blah, 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 blah.
DSP does not know what he's talking about. The whole fighting community do not back Phil. They think he's a joke. Have you not seen any of his Street Fighter games? Have you not seen any of his plays, whatever? Have you not? Because if you were watching, you see how terrible he is. And if you watch it from the other person's perspective, they only do it to get some enjoyment out of that, and either they let him have that one match or they upright and quit after they finish whooping his ass.
But like the reality was, Phil was 100% right? The action.
Cody, or Harmon, whatever you want to call yourself, do me a great favor. How about you go down to your local place and get tested, because I'm not sure what's in that drink over there, whether it's alcohol, weed, crack, whatever. You on something, and it is really messing your brain up. Now that, look how glassy your eyes are. Like either A, you are super high, or B, you are really drunk.
FGC shills, right? You know, the people who like play fighting games for a living, like they were trying to defend Street Fighter V throughout its entire run, right? And now that like Street Fighter 6 is out, these same people who defended 5 so long are like finally acknowledging that like 5 wasn't good and they're happy 6 is out. But like Phil was there telling us that 5 wasn't good.
Phil was only saying that because again, he was getting his ass kicked. Matter of fact, let me show you a couple of those clips right here of when he was playing Street Fighter V back in the day.
As usual, a loss to terrible gameplay. And Bad online connections. What a terrible game. EX Shoryuken has not come out in the 3 times I've attempted it. Well, once again, moves not coming out result in a loss, even though it has nothing whatsoever to do with the skill level of my opponent, but instead the terrible latency and online gameplay of this game. 3 moves in a row not coming out, and I wonder why I lose when I play Street Fighter V. There's no reason to even continue to play the game. When the connection is so bad, you cannot even defend against basic attacks. Basic jump-ins cannot even be defended against. Amazing. Once again, completely safe speedy moves that you cannot do anything about because the game is made for non-competitive players. Most people play video games for fun. However, if you're playing Street Fighter V, you are not. It is impossible to play Street Fighter V and actually have fun.
As you can clearly see, he's not that good. I mean, yeah, I know, us detractors and normal people know Phil is not that good, but I gotta show it with this clown.
Entire time, right? So in that way, like, I think Phil does deserve a lot of props for, like, being willing to stand up to the mob the way he does, right? And I think this is another repeat of that kind of situation. And
you think this is another repeat of that situation? You know, I think it's a repeat of being an idiot.
The CRBG fan base, the community, like the people who desperately wanted Baldur's Gate 3 to succeed and loved to pretend that it did, right?
It did. It won Game of the Year.
The people who want to believe that Baldur's Gate 3 is the best game released in 2023, it wasn't even close. Those people really, really don't appreciate people like myself or Phil coming out and saying, yeah, this is... What? What the fuck?
The biggest reason why we don't believe you or Phil is because, 1, you're a fanboy, 2, Phil's a lolcow and idiot. As a matter of fact, I'll say this right now, Harmon, your past few vids that I have seen before, you are starting to become a lolcow.
Doesn't look impressive. There's nothing about this that's new or interesting or fresh or exciting. Like, it's just the same thing Larian has always done, right? It's a game where you roll dice and get a result, right? It's D&D. It's not particularly innovative. It's not particularly fun. It's not well thought out. It's degenerate. Like,
yeah, I know. I let him continue on because I want y'all to hear the stupidity that just came out of his mouth. I mean, this game, BG3, is well done, well made. The story is great. The lore is fantastic. The world building and stuff, all of it's great. So I don't know, like I said, I don't know what drugs he's on or what alcohol he's been drinking, but he needs to lay off both of them and stop using Phil as your source.
Baldur's Gate 3 was hyped up as something special, and yet there really is nothing from the community that really emphasizes that at all, right? All anybody wants to talk about is how it allegedly won a Game of the Year award and how it has bear sex, right?
That's where you're going with? You guys still want to talk about the one thing out of the whole game? Good God, I feel like this is Mass Effect all over again. For you guys that were there, especially when I was there when Mass Effect 1 came out, remember that whole situation where it was Mass Effect was getting all this, this was all over the news because of the one sex scene, when really, in order to get that, it takes a long time to get into that game, and it's optional? That's why I feel like we're going through all over again, except for it's just the fanboys saying this shit.
And that's what it comes down to, right? That's what Phil is acknowledging in his videos when he talks.
How can I kiss your ass tonight?
Talks about this is that, like, yeah, Baldur's Gate 3 is only relevant because of the sexual content. And
I am not even going to try to. Well, no, I'll address a little bit of that. No, again, since you weren't there in my other videos, I'll help you out here, Harmon. No, the reason why Baldur's Gate 3 is so well done is because of the lore, the world building, the story, the characters. Yeah, there's some sex scenes in there, but that's not the biggest thing. Guess what? You take the sex scenes out, and this game will still win Game of the Year.
Right about that. because that's all anybody did when talking about the game, right? It's kind of like the Nier Automata thing all over again, where like whenever people would talk about the game, they would like deflect to like 2B's ass, like, oh, what's the combat like? Oh, you don't notice the combat because you're too busy looking up her skirt. Well, what's the plot like? Oh, you mean her ass? Like, but what do you actually do in the game? Oh, you spend the entire time looking at your player character's ass. Like, that was the Nier Automata experience, right?
He's full of shit.
Oh my god. You see what I mean, ladies and gentlemen? You see what I mean? This is an example of why you have to be careful when you're watching lolcows, because if you watch lolcows too much, you'll slowly start to sip the Kool-Aid. Unfortunately for this numbnut, he has sipped, not even sipped, he has gulped the whole gallon of the Kool-Aid of Darkside Phil that he's become drunk off that.
It's ridiculous. It was absurd. It's continuing even today, actually. It's kind of embarrassing. But when you look at what these people are doing, when you're looking at like the situation with these gamers, when you see like the general pattern,
what's wrong with gamers?
Like, what seems to be happening is that people who are addicted to like consuming products.
Don't you do that yourself with all the Nintendo products you buy? Matter of fact, look in the background. You got Mario. You got a couple other characters in there. So if you're gonna talk about consuming, you're doing the exact same thing.
Consumers, right? Like, they will.
And another thing I almost missed. You see the orange hat over there? Yeah, that looks like what? Wario, whatever. Mario. Anyways, that's another product of Nintendo. So there you go. You're doing the exact same thing, Mr. Hypocrite.
Jump on the bandwagon of anything that seems like it is popular or is doing well. They'll watch a bunch of streamers playing the game and doing like first time reactions to it, and then they'll kind of forget it entirely, right? And that seems to be what happened with Baldur's Gate 3, with Pow World, with It Takes Two, with
First and foremost, Pow World is getting a lot of attention. Secondly, there's been plenty of people that I've talked to who are starting their third to fourth run on Baldur's Gate 3. Yeah, they're still playing it, bud.
Back in the day, like, there is this very dedicated group of online weirdos that just...
Online weirdos? Then what the hell are you?
Love watching Let's Plays of certain games. Like, highly specific games that are popular.
Harmon, I do that too. Especially if I want to see how the story or the gameplay is of said game. If it's good, then I'll actually want to buy it and play it myself.
Among online communities. And I think Baldur's Gate 3 absolutely falls into that metric, because in reality, Baldur's Gate 3 is not popular at all, right?
Oh my fucking god. Hold on, let me post some statistics up on this over here. So, still not popular, huh? Just like typical, just like the Sony fanboys. None of y'all do actually some good research, and this is basic research.
Wide enough player base, people, the people who did buy it don't like it too much. It wasn't relevant enough to leave much of an impact in the gaming space. But like the way the online community tells it, oh man, it beat Zelda its absolute best. It.
See what I mean? See what I mean? He's mad about it because it beat Zelda. Again, any game that beats Nintendo, Harmon gets pissed off at.
It beat all these other games. It beat Spider-Man. It beat Hogwarts Legacy, even though it didn't. Like,
yes, it did. Spider-Man did not win one single award. Well, award, excuse me.
Did all this stuff, right? Baldur's Gate 3 forever until the next game comes out, right? Like, it's the same thing we've always seen from the community, right? Like, something comes out, it's worshipped as the best thing ever, and then it's immediately tossed aside when the next thing comes out, right? And with Baldur's Gate 3...
That's for any game. When you have one game that does well one year, and then you have another game for a different year, yeah, people will play that game because it's something new. Guess what? If the original game still has a lot of replayability, they'll come back to it.
With Baldur's Gate 3, it's interesting to kind of see that process of people like Phil just playing through the game, like casually, you know, just to have it.
Casually? Nah, he's been taking a long ass time.
Just to say he played it, and he's coming to the same conclusion that I came to. It's that, like, yeah, this game does not look as if it's worth my time.
You were saying the same thing with Elden Ring a couple of years ago.
If I was left to my own devices, if I was actually just playing the game by its own merits, I would never touch it, right? I am only playing this for money. Now, Phil is interesting because Phil is like, the thing about Phil, and I think the major thing that sets him apart from...
If he says one more dumb thing that makes Phil smart, I'm going to click off this.
Content creators, is that he'll tell you why he does certain things. Like, he'll tell you about the business and how much money he's pulling in and how much he does. Like, Phil...
Really? How much money he's making? What, you as an accountant or whatever? Are you his financial agent or something?
Is a content creator who says the quiet part out loud, right?
No. I ain't gonna continue. I ain't gonna let that continue because there's only so much stupid I could take before my mind blows. Because again, this is just proof how much that you had to be careful when you're watching locals. Case in point with this idiot. My God. All right. Oh my God. Again, thank you guys. I thank you guys and girls for sitting through this. This craziness what's been going on. Please stay tuned. I got some more vids coming to making, and I'll see you on the next one. Take it easy.